You see that? We're going to throw an Appalachia. It's Appalachia, y'all. Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. I'm not going to connect to my handy dandy little stand with the light because my outlets are all being used right now by all these little turkey babies and Baney babies and all these little babies in here. So we're just going to wing this video. But I first of all want to say thank you to the wonderful follower that sent me this shirt. Isn't that cute? All the way up from Crossville. Thank you for sending this down this way. This is, I squealed when I opened that package. I love this. This is so creative. And that's what we do say. An Appalachia. Duh. So I'm about to get some canning on, baby. I know you're waiting on a ton of I'm going to have like a canning marathon the rest of the day. So I said, I better curl my hair for this because it's about to get really serious. But before we do that, I do want to talk about this because this has been laid upon my heart for the last day or two. And it's a tough subject because I know there's going to be a lot of you that understand what I'm saying. And then there's going to be people that just don't agree because it's so hard to... The idea of what I'm going to say is not difficult to understand, although somebody, somewhere may not, but somebody's got to argue. Some people just have to argue with anvils no matter what you do, You'd go argue with an anvil. That's what my papa used to say. You'd argue with an anvil. You'd wear the guts out of a pumpkin. Yeah, well, so here's the thing. Folks, the gloves are off. And I think the sooner that we all come to this point where we have mentally accepted it, and there'll be days that are more difficult than others, that we just go, all bets are off, all gloves are off. Let's just go ahead and assume things could get really bad. Okay, now what are we going to do? What are we going to have to do? So here's the bottom line. There are two things that you need to think about today, yesterday, quickly. And some of these things we've talked about before, or you've seen probably more on like money channels, folks that more talk to you about what's going on with the economy. I don't think you're going to hear this as much, or maybe, I don't know, in the homestead prepper community. But the question is, what is your side hustle and what are you producing? These are two different topics, both have the same goal or the end, an ending, and it's the means to an end for you to stay self-sufficient, sustainable, independent as possible, basically, so you can keep going. Now, this is a big topic because it's not going to anything that I say or anything that you and I could come up with together. So please comment below for ideas for folks to hear and see and feel and think and process. It's simply like this. A lot of us are going to have to get extra jobs. A lot of us are going to have to take on more work than we are right now, or that we think we can do. And in order to get the things that we need, in order to get the foods that we need right now to put on the shelf, in order to get the extra chicken feed, in order to, hopefully you're trying very hard to pay off some debt. Okay, I'm not judging you on that. I'm just saying, I want to keep saying that. I'm not a believer in having debt if you don't have to. I don't. I mean, I know everybody's got a comeback to anything I say here. Well, I can't do this because of this, and I had to do this. I know. Just hear me out. Think all this out. And think about things that I'm saying and ways that it can apply to you to help you. But if you are willing to work an extra job, even if it's just one day a week, even if you are willing to take overtime, I don't know what that means for you. Work more with the job you currently have, or find a side hustle right now to help earn more money. Because a lot of people will say, I don't have a way to put extra food on the shelf. Or some people will say, well, I can't pay off my credit card. I also see people that complain about these things. These are people I know privately, okay? They'll say these things, but they're planning a trip to the beach in 2 weeks. And, you know, here I am sitting here going, I haven't been to the beach in like 2 decades. That doesn't make me better or special, but what I'm saying is we're going to have to make tough decisions or go without things in order to get through what I feel is a very difficult time coming. So I'm trying to a lot of you out there are already here with me, are already doing some of this. So you're there, I get it. But there are a lot of people that are sitting there going, really? 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 Let's be honest, if we were to ever crash into the idea of a recession, which is being argued that we are technically already in, and then that goes for a while, or if you have an economic crash, or if you have a depression. And, are these things going to happen? I pray every day they don't. When exactly are they going to happen? Not really sure, but every day looks a little bit closer, doesn't it? I mean, it's just not good. So you have to mentally first come to the conclusion of, okay, I need things. I need to pay off things. How can I make that happen for now? So see, this whole thing of an extra now is to help you put things away, to help you pay off things so that when the crisis does come, or the full crisis fully hits, you have prepared and been able to prepare as much as possible. And I don't care what any channel you watch. I do not care who you talk to. I don't care how many years you've been doing this. In order to be sustainable and get where as close as you need to be at the level you want to be, I'm sorry to tell you, a lot of times it requires money. It's not free. I have said for years on videos, homesteading is not free. It's a lot of work, and you can save money in a lot of ways, and you have to be really creative. But the fact of the matter is, everybody talks about, well, I'm like, how'd you pay for that tractor? What you paying for that chicken feed? How'd you buy that wood stove? Is all that cast iron free? I mean, you may have got it for $1 at a garage sale, but it still cost money. So this is why we say it takes a long time and a long effort to get where you want to be, because society is not living in this lifestyle. You are. I am. We're trying further and further every day. And it takes time. It's like that diamond we always talk about, that beautiful diamond. It takes a lot of time and a lot of push and a lot of pressure. And, if you're trying to fast track it, well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have to probably have the extra funds, because you may want to buy an incubator. You may want to build a chicken coop. You may want to build a greenhouse. Even if it's just out of cattle panels, they still cost, in most cases, y'all, they still cost money. Now, to go a little bit further, what do you produce? Are you a producer? We are producers here on this farm. We have been selling our eggs, and up until recently have done very well at paying all or most of our feed bill every month, or a major majority of it, with our egg sales. I have a wonderful chicken egg base. They also buy my other eggs, duck, quail, geese, whatever, goose, whatever. And, that has been a wonderful thing for us here at Appalachia's Homestead. I have videos on it, talked about it often. I've also, from time to time, I've more given things away to people that buy eggs, or family and friends, but a lot of you have asked me, can we buy goats? Can we buy a dairy cow? Can we buy rabbits? A lot of you out there want to buy bunnies from me. Elderberry cuttings, seeds. I seed save like crazy. And I've not in the past really done a lot of that because of time mostly, but that's probably going to be changing because see, I have to feed my animals. I have to feed my children. And so it goes back to no matter who you are or where you are in this game, as I call it, the game of life, what can you produce outside of working a job or working an extra part-time job or getting your overtime, or maybe that'll be, your spouse is doing that. With what could be coming, it may be your children. And everybody in the home is working and it could be a multi-generational work effort, just like you saw with your grandparents, like my grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents. They all lived together basically until they passed away. And they all worked, or they all helped with the family. They all were either workers at a job and or producers, or were producers. That's what it took to make it. And I think we're going to be heading back into that potentially, most likely. So my point is you may be the one that's home on the homestead. The husband may be working overtime and working. The older children may have to be mowing yards or working at the Piggly Wiggly or doing whatever they can do to help. So, what can you do? And I don't want to say just ladies, because this is really two things that families are going to have to be doing. I hear you down there. Maybe you're going to sell loud baby chicks. So anyway, what I was saying was, before the child interrupted me, hang on. Hey, baby, I gotta finish this video. You wanna be in the video? Huh? What are you fussing about? Okay, all is well. We're calm and under the heat with all our brothers and sisters, and we're good. Okay. See, I was rubbing her ear. It could be a rooster. I don't know. Rubbing its ears calms it down, soothes it, went to sleep. We're all good now. So this is the deal. So you may be the farmer, whether you have a 40-hour-a-week job or whether you're home full-time. I want you to start thinking of ways of different things that you produce or can produce that not only makes you more sustainable, but also, let's be honest, you'll be able to sell or barter or trade, because you're going to have to do that. You may have an entire patch of, blackberries. You can have new starts, elderberry starts. You may sell a hog, just like they said she says in Coal Miner's Daughter. That's how they got their shoes. That's the money from the hog. This is really going back to how your great grandparents were raised up, because this is what it's going to take. My Nana today was talking about, she lived in a 3-generational home, and her grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, she never worked a job outside of the home. See, she was the one that was home raising the 4 grandkids while her husband, son-in-law, and daughter all went and worked at factories or went and worked at the University of Tennessee. They worked at the local schoolhouse. They worked in the quarry. They did all of these things. They were the ones that went off to work. She stayed home, kept house, cooked dinner, cleaned, canned, ran the farm. And I asked my Nana, I said, did she do anything to raise money? I said, no. And she said, no, she didn't ever work a job. I said, well, what about she would trade things? She said, well, now she would keep her eggs. And she said, when the rolling store came through, she would trade her eggs and things for things off, with the rolling store. She said, that's how we got our extras. That's how, every now and then we could get a candy bar or maybe a Coke. See, that's how they did that. That's how she did that. So she didn't work outside of the home, but she was able to do things at home while the other adults had to work in order to keep one little 2-bedroom household with 8 people going. So I want you to think about that. Do you seed save? Can you teach? Can you teach locally? Clearly people want to learn. And, you know, I can't, and nobody can teach everybody everything. You may have a skill set that is very rare in your community. Take an afternoon, teach a class. You know, don't charge them, you know, $150,000 to teach it, you know, but it is your time, and you are teaching something valuable for them. Maybe you're teaching how to make soap. Maybe you're teaching how to, you know, butcher rabbits. Maybe you're teaching, I don't know. But my point is your time is valuable. That could be a little bit of a side hustle for you to put cash away, for you to pay off debt, for you to buy more groceries, for you to do the things that it takes to live day to day. So I want you all out there to be thinking of both of these things. How can you right now, today, start bringing in more income? There's got to be a way. You know, folks that are homebound, maybe you can do something online. Maybe you can have a garage sale. Maybe you can teach. Hold on to those thoughts, but going forward, regardless of where you are, regardless of where you live, how can you apply that same mentality in terms of you're producing something that has value, that people are willing to trade or barter with, or give you whatever currency there may be? So I want to drop this video off with you because it is on my heart right now. We are really pushing ourselves on our farm, setting up things for the future. Extra fencing, you know, greenhouse, extra trellises. I bought boysenberries. I'm expanding my rabbitry, expanding my quail. You know, I love all my critters, but I understand that I also have to sustain. And sometimes these are hard choices, you know. We're not in the fairy tale anymore, folks. I think that's the biggest issue for all of us. You know, we've had it so good so long, and we still can have it good. But we're going to have to make some sacrifices. Please talk to your children, especially if they are young adults. They have no concept of what's coming. Even in a home like this, where I'm a going at it every day, talking about it. See, they've never experienced that. You most likely, I haven't, ever experienced all of the things that we talk about our great-great-grandparents went through. We hear the stories, we see how they lived, and we understand their behavior, but it's out of touch for most of us. So we have to mentally prepare and go ahead and accept these things. Y'all, there's more jobs now than workers. If I have to go sell Chick-fil-A sandwiches at the Chick-fil-A, ain't no shame in this game. I'll be the first girl there. I can wear red. It's okay. For real, think about all these things. It's coming. Thank you for being patient with my baby. We'll see you on the next video. I got to finish cleaning up because girlfriend has got some boneless ribs to put in the canner. And what was that? Hot dogs? Y'all want that hot dog video? I think so. More to put away. We're going to keep teaching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you on the next video.